doctor told me yesterday, because of COVID is the reason why I haven't been operated on yet.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's backed up.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Doc, I need this operation as soon as possible. He said, the sooner, he said, within 3 to 6 weeks. That's what he told me. Hopefully it'll be 3. I don't want to be snoring around when I'm recouping, you know. But I asked him how long would it take after the operation for me to start. He said he could start getting around 2 weeks after the operation.
Let's make sure it's.
Yep. I don't want to be snoring.
It's working.
Yep. So he said 2 weeks after the operation, I can go back to normal life. So I'm only going to be down for a couple of weeks at the most.
Good Lord. Okay. If you ever get in, who knows what's going on with this COVID shit?
Oh, I told him, I said, is that for sure? He says, no, it's for sure, Rudy. Don't worry about it. He said, hopefully I can get to you in 3 weeks, but 6 at the very most.
Good luck to friend of the show today, Mr. Ricky Bobby starts his amateur world's conquest for disc golf.
Oh, out of sight.
Remember the big
Yeah, I remember him.
Texas buddy?
Yeah.
He's down in Florida right now playing worlds.
Out of sight.
Amateur worlds.
Does he travel around and do
He
that
won,
a lot?
yeah. He won, that's how I met him, was at a World's Cup.
At a World Cup, yeah.
He won the putting championship.
Get out of here.
Yep. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's real cool.
I'm still a better putter than he is.
You are?
No. I mean, he practices a lot more than I do, so.
Yeah, well, he seems to be more of a.
Ooh, shout out to Brando, too. Love me some Brando. I played with Brando.
Another professional guy?
He's not professional. This is all AMs.
Right.
But a friend from Flint saw him in 2016 at
Okay.
Worlds.
All right.
Got to play with it. Like, we had some fun rounds beforehand.
Cool.
And shit. Shout out to Kyle. What up, brother? He just said hi. Well, he didn't say hi, but...
Shout out to Kyle. Kyle?
Kyle. Jesus Christ.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle.
I didn't sound like Carl at all.
It did at first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got different ears, man.
Okay.
I got 72-year-old ears.
72-year-old ears.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
To your what? What are you, 30 what?
30?
How old are you?
42.
Are you 42, really?
Yeah.
Okay, you've been around a little while then.
Yeah.
You got a couple of miles on you.
I've been around long enough.
Well, not long enough, but you've been around a while.
I mean, no one wants to die, but
I don't care.
I got 10 years past my mom.
I don't care.
My dad's still kicking in the 60s.
Actually, death is, to me, is just another adventure.
I'm sure at 70 I'd be feeling the same way.
Well, you see, I mean, realistically, I'd be lucky if I go 15 years. I'd be quite a guy if I go 10 more years. I figure I got between 5 and 10 years.
Deadhead OG.
Before I buy the farm.
That's what we smoking on. Yeah, death is part of life.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think part of the reasons why we have so much issues nowadays. No, the sorbet one. Is, a lot of people don't understand death at all. Because there's a lot of people in this life, especially in this country, that haven't had any significant death in their life, and they're in their fucking 70s. Or they're in their 60s or 40s. Or
No, if they're in their 70s, they've had significant death.
Maybe.
No, maybe.
Dude, I know 70-year-olds that have parents still.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they have friends that died and relatives that
Okay,
died. Yeah,
that's fine.
Everybody.
Okay, at 70 it's a little much, but
Yeah.
the 50s, 60s?
40s, 50s, I'll
Yeah.
give you that all day. 40s, 50s for sure. Because I'll tell you, when I was 50 years old, I didn't even think about death. It really never crossed my mind.
How?
Because you haven't crossed that threshold yet.
Your parents ain't died yet?
No. My parents, no.
Oh, wow.
My parents have only been dead either 13 or 14 years now.
Jesus Christ.
My mother was 82 when she died. My dad, I think, was 86.
So what was the first significant death in your life?
Not significant, but the first death in my life happened when I was about 14 years old. And that was a kid that used to ride his bike around the neighborhood, a white guy. I think his name was Rusty. White guy. And he got hit by a car. It's the first time I really experienced it. Somebody I knew that got killed. He got hit by a car and killed. He couldn't have been any more than 12, 11.
I mean,
as far as my family,
you're not love, family, whatever it may be, because it may not be family that's the most significant death.
other than, well, actually, you know, I've had family members dying over the last few years. I mean, last 50 years. Okay, like cousins and aunts and uncles.
No, I mean like.
Now, friends, I've had.
Good friends, not acquaintances.
Oh man, let me tell you something.
Like baby mama friends.
I think that I've lost.
You're
60.
right.
I've lost 60% of the friends I had.
Yeah, sorry to hear about your pup. I went through it in 2020.
Yeah, I've had at least 10 or 15 of my friends die from heart attacks, drug overdoses, a lot of heart attacks. A couple of cases of cancer, you know, but mostly heart attacks. I think
Kyle lost all his grandparents in 9 months.
Wow.
Oh, did she? My bad. Good for her. Or him. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. I just automatically assume it's a pup, so it's a girl. Because I've always owned girls. I've never actually owned a male dog.
Really?
Yeah, I had one for like 5 minutes and let it go. Well, not let it go.
I've never had a female dog.
In the last 9 months, he's lost all his grandparents.
Wow.
That's insane.
You got my condolences.
My shit was spread out pretty good. But I lost my mom early, so grandparents weren't really significant.
Yeah.
I mean, I cried.
What?
For some of
I
them.
only met.
Probably one of them.
I met my grandfather on my mother's side because my grandmother on my mother's side died early. I think when my mother was a child. On my father's side, my grandmother, I remember her, but I think I only saw her maybe about 4 or 5 times. She lived in Washington, D.C. I stayed one summer with her, though. I remember that summer. And other than that, I really had no contact with no grandparents. They all
I was pretty blessed when my mom was alive. Because when my mom was alive, I had 3 grandparents, 3 sets. I had her dad and stepmom and mom and stepdad.
Oh, that's what you're saying, right.
And they were split. Like, one was in the UP still, and the other one's down here and was in White Lake.
The lower.
Yeah, and then I had my dad's parents stayed together until they died. So I had, and then, you know, they got into, like, every single one of them made it until I was a teenager, or until I was in graduate. They all saw me, they all came to my graduation. So I was pretty blessed when it came to,
Yeah.
but I'd have given them all up. They could all die at once for all I give a shit.
Yeah.
To have the other person back.
Yeah.
I gotta exchange them instantly. Because they were useless. I mean, my grandma, I cried. My grandma Fox, my dad's mom, I actually was hurt when that one happened.
Uh-huh.
Because she was the only one that I actually talked to. All the other, like, once my mom died, the other 2 were gone. My dad had basically cut them out.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't want to be reminded about anything. My aunt was kind of supposedly crazy, and my grandpa was in Florida, losing all his money to health insurance.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
Oh, Kyle was a grandma's boy.
Well, I remember I had a stretch of about 7 or 8 years where every year a couple of my friends would die. Every year. And one of my closest friends, he died it's been about 5 years now.
But you had already, by this point, gone through your fucking Buddhist phase and all that other shit that happened in your life by the time people started dying on you, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so like, having some, because you, like...
But see, the bad. Well, I shouldn't say the bad part, but the sad part of it is a couple of my friends died from cancer, but they didn't tell me they had cancer until they were on their deathbed. And their sister called me and said, he's in hospice in the hospital. I was like, what? So I went to see him, and you know, he looked real frail and everything. And I was talking to him. He says, I can hardly talk. I want to tell you, when I get out of here, we're going to get the band going again. And I thought to myself, he doesn't know he's dying. He must not have known that he was dying. Because he said, when I get out of here, we'll get the band going again. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, man, cool.
Oh, he didn't come to grips with it?
Maybe he didn't realize he was dying. Maybe nobody told him.
No, they told him. You're not in hospice, and if you don't know that you're dying and you're in hospice, it's because you're not accepting the death. Hospice, like, the first thing you think of when you think of hospice is you're dying.
But some people go into hospice and don't know they're in hospice because they're in the same hospital. They just moved to a different room. Yeah. That's what they did with him.
Oh.
See, he was in the same hospital, but they had a hospice wing.
But again, you still are... Hold on. I get that, but... So, yeah. It would be nice... Yeah, I didn't have none of my family... Well, actually, come to find out that my mom's side was big potheads, and I had no idea.
You had no idea?
Fuck. Well, I knew that the kids were, because my one uncle, Dean, who listens to the show, was in jail most of his life from cannabis, so I knew he was in drugs. My uncle Mark moved to Detroit in '85 and never left, and he was always in and out of, like, always had, coins. And then I know my Aunt Chris, like, she smoked weed with me when I was 18. On her way down to do something in Ohio, she swung by and smoked a joint with me. So, like, but no.
Well, people kept that quiet back then too.
Oh yeah.
There was more undercover smoking going on because I didn't know my mom had smoked. I didn't know my mom had smoked, and I didn't know all my dad's. I didn't catch my dad smoking, but I got caught about 5 or 6 of his friends gambling, smoking weed and drinking. So he wasn't in the room at the time, so I don't know if he did or didn't, But my mom told me she started smoking about 8 or 9 years before she died.
Okay.
When she was at General Motors, working on a line.
Yeah, and again, I didn't see them because they were in the UP. Mm-hmm. But my grandpa was again, like, even Grandma Krieger, which is my step-grandma, she was, like, when I saw her, like, 2-3 years ago, she was like, it's cool that you're doing it. Like, she wasn't about it smoking, like, recreationally. She was like, I'm okay with the medical.
With the medical, yeah.
And that's what everyone had told her is I was in the medical part of it. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not going to get into this with you.
Right.
But, yeah, it's not like, stop blaming the drugs for why your kids failed. You fucking failed them. Stop fucking trying to blame everything on something that's not. You did this. It's your fucking fault that there was rules and shit like that putting your kids in jail. It's your fucking fault that you let that shit happen. So don't act like it's not your fault. It's your fault that your kid doesn't want to fucking do shit.
Well, they don't want to face the reality.
I know.
That's the same thing with these Trump people. They don't want to face reality. They want to be in some kind of sub-world.
Oh, hi, Aunt Chris. Speaking of Aunt Chris.
How you doing?
So
they want to be in some kind of sub-world where certain things just don't happen.
Well,
I've met people like that before.
It's not just everyone kind of does it naturally. It's natural to happen. It's more about, like, that's one of the reasons I prefer Eastern philosophy. It's honestly Christianity. Christianity is one of the worst fucking religions when it comes to fucking that kind of shit, because it's all like, give your fucking guilt to this person and he'll take it all for you.
Without a doubt. And that's
don't ever look into your fucking fault.
That's what, when I communicate with a girl from the Philippines, she's always talking about church and God and stuff. And I think to myself, and she prays and stuff, well, okay, you do all of this, but your situation hasn't improved at all. Mm-mm. and none of the people around me, their situations haven't improved at all. So why are you clinging to this so hard and it's not really helping you? Maybe it helps you subconsciously some kind of way.
It does some people, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because some people need something to hold on to.
Well, they need something to give all control to.
Or to give hope, or to get hope from.
Yeah, to give hope from too. Because again, if you think that by being good, you'll get something in the next life.
You're wrong.
I'm just saying that's the thought. Though.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying that's not a good way of thinking about it. Because you're going to be disappointed a lot in life when you think like that.
No, I know. It's more about the next life. It's more about if you're good.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You do what the people who are in charge say.
So after you die, you'll go to a better place.
That's why most of Christian countries are like, this country doesn't make sense to be a republic when, if you think about it, Christianity is not about a republic. Christianity is all about one person being in control.
You're right.
That's why it works so well in these other countries like the Philippines where there's dictatorships. That's why Trump works so well, because he's going to say, give me all your problems.
Yeah, and I'll solve them.
I'll solve them.
Just have faith in me.
Have faith in me. Without any results.
Remember when he told everybody, don't believe what you see? Don't you remember when he told everybody, don't believe what you read and see?
Yeah, I know.
Listen to him?
Yeah, only him. And, that's an issue I have with the whole situation.
I think he's going nuts right now.
He already was.
Man,
the dude has been drinking Diet Coke,
I
eating McDonald's.
I think he's completely gone now, though. What I'm saying is he's not in reality at all anymore.
Dude, he never was, man. That dude's been living out of reality since the 80s, since he was my age. Since the moment his dad gave him fucking $20 million and said, here, do it.
I know if they don't do something, if they don't penalize some of these people, this is going to happen again.
They're never going to penalize him.
They're going to have to.
No.
I'm going to tell you why they're going to have to. It's either that or America's going to fall. Because if they let them get away with what they've done, it's going to be, You know what that is, don't you?
No.
It's the Philippines calling.
Oh.
Let me see what's going on. See, she got her thing is Jesus and Mary.
I can't, is
that little red thing? The little circle?
Yeah. I mean, when you're poor as shit and you're struggling, it's not bad to have some hope from some things. And there's some of the shit that the Jesus character actually talks about that are pretty good philosophies, but they ignore that stuff.
Yeah, but that's Jesus. That's got nothing to do with the ministers and the generals and the presidents and all them other a-holes.
Using it to their gain.
Yeah, they're taking advantage.
Right.
They don't go by that stuff. They don't go by that stuff.
Oh, I know they don't. Yeah, I know.
It's a control mechanism.
I know.
Of course you do.
To an extent. It's too small.
It is small, but it's small but mighty.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, like I figured it out. Well, I didn't figure anything out. I haven't figured anything out. I don't know the answers to any questions. But in my mind, I kind of saw through certain things when I was young. And I'd ask certain questions, and the minister would answer it with not a very intelligent answer, or no answer at all. I loved it when they told me, well, you have to go by faith.
Oh yeah, my dad did a lot of that.
You have to go by faith. Faith? I want the answer to this question. Oh, well, it's faith, you have to believe. Yeah, okay, buddy. All righty then.
Yeah, just believe that.
Believe what I say.
Yeah.
And what the Bible says.
If my interpretation is right and yours is wrong.
Yep.
You see it as people trying to control people. I see it as the only way to salvation.
Oh, look, the aliens set all this shit up. The Bible, the aliens wrote the Bible.
Why?
Why? Because we were berserkers. We were killing each other, stabbing, impaling each other. So they said, well, we got to give these people, look.
Which they did with the Bible.
Look, they said, look, we can't be around all the time, watch them all the time. So we have to give them something to live by. So they made up just like Greek mythology. It's close to the same thing when you think about it.
I think that if you lived in the right area where mushrooms were prevalent and psychedelics were used as a, and again, not all of them were, because some places had fucking sacrifices too. But I think in places where you use the mushrooms as a way to see your inner self and connect to the inner self, you didn't have as much issues as you have where they are.
Yeah, you're probably right. And well, you can say mushrooms and other.
Psychedelics, yeah.
Yeah, when you go around the world, there are all kinds of stuff we had never heard of before they do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's the same basic compounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there are different plants in different areas of the world that give you a buzz, make you think, make you ponder.
Not even a buzz. It's make you lose control or dampen, or actually, what I think it does is it clears up the ego, which is basically a self-defense system that we've evolved to keep us from seeing the universe through the mind's eye, because it's so much information going on at any given moment in every given space that you have to be able to dull through it. Like, imagine living in a world where, with your mindset now, where all of a sudden your nose worked exactly the same as a dog's. You wouldn't be able to move if you think about it. You wouldn't be able to function because there's so many smells going around and you don't have the brain capacity to decipher the smells like a dog does, because a dog has evolved to use its sense of smell as a way to talk, as a way to leave messages, as a way to do
get information.
Different shit, yeah. Where we don't. We use our eyes.
We use all our senses.
All our senses, but we use our eyes more than we use our nose. Just like a dog, they use their eyes a lot, and they have the nose, so they have any ears, so they have way more. But we don't have the brain receptors to comprehend the smells that are in the air. Most of the smells that are in the air, we can't smell. Just like most of UV rays and wavelengths and all that stuff, we can't see. Because
all kind of shit happens.
Yeah.
In between here.
Because we wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yeah.
If we didn't
we'd be
dull
blinded.
it. And that's what fucking happens with psilocybin, is it takes away that cover.
It works on those receptors that give you the ability. But see, you're right and you're wrong. One person could take that mushroom and have a positive effect on them. Somebody else could take it and like, I didn't like that.
No.
I didn't like the way it made me feel.
Right. Because don't
ever give me that
There's
again.
two reasons for that. One, if you're an anxious person with a lot of anxiety, mushroom can bring out more anxiety. Two, if you're someone who's not a good person, doesn't want to inner think, and is a Trump tard in that sense, you're not going to like it either.
You might not have a good trip.
It's going to make you remember that time that you treated your kid like shit.
It's
going to make you remember that time that you treated that waitress like a fucking bimbo. And it's going to make you feel what they felt. And you're not going to want to do that.
You're not going to like that.
So you're going to fight it.
That's going to be, to you, that's going to be a bad trip.
Yeah. Instead of being what it really is, it's just the world telling you that you're a piece of shit and you need to not be.
You know, everybody in life has done things bad at one time or another. In my life, there's been a couple of episodes where I wasn't the nicest guy in the world.
True.
But the first time I went inward off of a psychedelic or mushrooms or whatever it was, peyote, whatever it was, I saw that, and in my mind, I told myself I have to correct things and change the way I'm living, and I did. So when I get high, I don't get paranoid. A lot of people mistake being high for paranoid, and it runs away in their head. It runs away with them.
Okay, what causes paranoia for me right now is the indigestion I've been having. And it causes me paranoia due to the fact that I've never felt this before. I've never actually had indigestion on a level, because I've had gas. I've farted all my life, but never felt the farts.
Got you. But that doesn't happen every time you get high, does it?
No, but
right. That's
when I get too high and get, like, the Deadhead has been better than it has been.
And you start thinking about it.
Yeah, you start thinking about, like, it's not even about that. It adds, Because what it truly is
I think that's anxiety.
well, what it truly is that there's a level of stress I'm dealing with right now that has to do with this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're 10 years in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There's all kinds of things going on. That stress right there, which I'm dealing with fine, but at the same time, it's an underlying stress that it's stressful.
It's there.
The
I see what
world
you're
is
saying.
getting like, how it's getting. So it's like, what's the next step? And I'm shutting down one. Are we going to have another one open up? Or are we just going to go to two? Can I live off of two? I can live off of two. I can live off of one, technically.
Sure you can.
Because the cost of this place alone is not that bad. It's just,
do you want to do that?
do I want, and then I got to lose a cut. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lay off cut.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. You have responsibilities. You're a responsible guy.
Well, it's just the world's set up right now so that you have to constantly be thinking about how to make the next dollar.
How to make the next dollar.
Because if you don't, you're not
You're
going to be
gonna
able
be
to
left
survive,
behind.
or you're gonna. You have to have a nest egg.
You're gonna be left behind.
That's ridiculous, or you're fucked.
Yep. Yep.
Plain and simple.
Don't get to be my age and not have backup.
Yeah. And how do you get to that point? Because in
You
the
have to
game
do-
I want to play, the only way I can do it is literally uproot myself and go to 2 states.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I know, but then it's about market, and you still need. It may be only $1,000 for the fine.
No, I understand
but
what
it
you're
still
saying.
costs 40.
Yeah.
If you want to open up a mild operation, it still costs $500,000 to open up the fucking facility.
I heard something yesterday. A new cannabis company is opening here, and at the end of the presentation, the guy said they're opening 16 locations in Detroit. You can have that many locations?
I don't know.
I guess you can.
Again, it's a game we can't play
Because
we don't have any capital.
Because I'm looking around and I see that what is it called? The House of Dank.
Mm-hmm.
They got 3 locations now. They got one down river.
Yeah, those different cities.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can go different cities. Like Gage has got like 7, all throughout the state. It's dependent on each city. Each city determines
Yeah, those
who
people,
and how
yeah.
many they want.
And they're making money like you wouldn't believe.
It's stupid how much money they
They're
make.
making crazy money, man.
And I mean,
And that's because most of their clientele are people who just started smoking in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot of them weren't smoking because it was illegal.
right, and they couldn't find it.
Right.
And now they
They didn't want to look for it.
Yeah, now it's easy to get because it's at a store that they like. That sets them up and gives them something that gets them high. And they've never smoked anything like this.
And some of them can't.
No, it's too much. The cough I just felt from that would kill
It
me.
would wreck them. They'd be wrecked.
One hitter quitters.
I remember back before COVID, I had girls coming over to my house, right? And all of them, I say maybe about 5 or 6 different girls, they all told me the same thing. I can't smoke that weed you got. You got something that's not quite as strong. They smoke it, and I look around and they lay on the couch sleep.
What's his name? McGrath, friend of the show, McGrath, was up north, and he was with some dude who's a grower. The guy smoked 7 or 8 of his joints with him, and McGrath's like, I wasn't high. So he like, I'll lit up his own fucking joint
Yeah.
of sorbet.
Yeah.
Dude.
Guy was out.
Yeah.
Guy was out.
Yep. But I mean, you gotta get lucky, because the best shit's hard to keep.
Well, you got to put the work in.
Mm.
If you don't put the work in, you're never gonna.
You also gotta know what it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's part of putting the work in. Like I know, I want to grow next year, or after I move, I want to grow. And I pretty much have an idea about how to grow, but I don't know all the ins and outs. And I hear different growers tell me different things. So
I mean, everyone's got their own style.
They do.
That's the point of it.
No two growers that I trim for grow the same way. No two of them.
No. That's one of the reasons why it didn't work with Tom. Because he was already a grower.
Mm-hmm.
But it works with Cut. Because
Yeah.
he's not a grower, he's a waterer right now. He doesn't actually do the fucking...
He's a maintenance man. He's a maintenance man.
Yeah. Is there really that many people up there?
Up where?
She says that there are two in Escanaba. One, she went to one of them. The line was around the corner, so they went to the firehouse. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming
There's another one here.
and building a dispensary in Mastique.
Yeah, man. Marijuana is bringing the state in big money, man. The state is getting big money.
Yeah.
In fact, they were so impressed by it.
You know what's
certain
sad is
changes.
the big people. Like, if it actually was done right, everyone could have got some wealth, and it could have built up the whole state. But instead, they wanted to make... Like, the reason why you can't get shit in Detroit right now is because rich people don't want you to.
Exactly.
They're the ones fighting the fucking law that says you're the one that gets first dibs.
Yep. They're fighting that law.
Because they don't...
Because when I made out that application, it's still online. I didn't fill it all the way out because I didn't have an investor and all of that.
Yeah.
But when I was filling that out, and then 2 weeks later they said, well, we're not accepting anything right now because we're making changes.
Litigation, yeah. And it's because rich people want the whole market.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's fucking insane, dude. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's why I just hope, honestly, with everything up north, is I want it to go off. But I'm gonna look somewhere else, man.
You
if
are?
I ever get to a point where I can,
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah.
and I'm gonna find somewhere else to go besides this fucking state.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's unbelievable.
Especially if you're just doing 12 for yourself or something like that, all right, go ahead and do what you're going to do. But if you're really trying to be a real grower, you know, that's a totally different scene. So now, everybody on this block, if they wanted to, could grow 12 plants, right? Indoors or outdoors.
No, if it's outdoors, it has to be behind a fence, lock fence.
Right, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you can grow them indoors or you can grow them outdoors.
Uh-huh.
But everybody can grow 12 plants.
Uh-huh.
But there's no rule as to how big those plants can be.
No, there's not. But that's where that's the hold on. The reason why we're not fucking millionaires is because there's a fucking limit on how many plants I can grow.
Right.
If there was no limit on how many plants I would grow, it'd be fucking amazingly easier just to grow fucking 2-ounce fucking little ass plants. Grow 100 of them and be done with it.
Yeah.
But no, I gotta fucking make sure I grow big ass plants because if you wanna fucking keep the counts to where they can be legally, you have to fucking only have 72 plants. Which means you can only get like 4 plants every 10 days. Give or take the system.
I see
If
what
you
you're
use
saying.
hydro,
I understand. Yeah, you're right.
if you use hydro,
It'd be a little different.
you could add on another plant.
Yeah, yeah.
Because your veg room would be less.
Right.
But depending on how long of flower or veg you need, you know,
Right. And maintaining that
is not even that. It's more about like just bigger plants have bigger problems. It's a lot easier to deal like, oh, well, look at this one plant, gone. I only lose 2 ounces, not 12.
I see what you're saying, right.
You know what I'm saying? Anyone like grow plants 1 to 2 ounces and that's it.
So can you dwarf plants?
I can't grow what?
Can you dwarf a plant?
What do you mean dwarf a plant?
Just like you make, what do they call them? Them little trees?
Oh, can you bonsai plant?
Yeah.
I mean bonsai just means tree and pot.
But what I'm saying is,
Can you
get,
make them small and grow them? Yes, people do that.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you make a miniature plant that maybe only gives you a couple of ounces?
Yeah.
Just have 20 of them.
That's what I just fucking said. Sea of green would be easier than screen of green.
Gotcha.
Sea of green means that I can grow 8 fucking plants in one, like under one light I can have 20 plants. Not 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That 20 plants gives me way more variation or way more leeway, and it's easier to deal with. Just less dirt, less time in veg, where a lot of the problems can happen.
Yeah.
And just quicker, quicker time.
Everything's quicker.
And you can grow more, like you. So yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Sea of green, about 2 ounce plants. I mean, in a commercial setting, you want probably 4 ounces per plant because you only got 15. Again, they limit it. So at 1,500 plants, if you can only grow 1,500 plants, you want about 4 ounces per plant.
Per plant, yeah.
Maybe 5 to really start, to be able to.
So you would want no big tree plants, because like you said, it's more trouble.
Depends on the facility. Well, I don't want more tree plants, but again, if you have a facility that has everything already taken care of, if it has a beautiful HEPA system, everyone's wearing fucking protective garb, you spray people a decontamination room, you have perfect fucking light, you have everything done
perfect
to the
watering routine.
Then that's different. Yeah, and then let the plant grow. Get fucking 12 ounces per plant if you can. But the chances are it's probably going to be easier to get 4 ounces,
4 to 6,
5 ounces, because then you can stack them. Because if you have no plant count, you can fill a room with fucking 15 plants on one side with 15 plants above them. If they're 4 ounce plants, they only need to
get so high. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and especially if they're in hydro, it's a lot easier to fucking veg out a fucking. But again, I don't know if hydro would taste the same.
Well, I tell you something. When I was doing that deep water
culture,
when I was doing that, plants came out pretty nice, man. They had good taste too.
I mean, my shit was good when it was hydro back in the day.
Yeah.
But it was fucking it wasn't these plants. It was different plants. I think it grew 18 in hydro, but
what did I grow? I grew about 3 different kinds. I can't remember the strains now. This was 6 or 7 years ago.
So we had, I gotta put that video up today too. 2 hours, or 2 days no power at the warehouse.
Oh, you know what? I was sitting at my house, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if power went out. You didn't see anything, so I didn't think any power went out.
It did.
For 2 days.
2 days. So frustrating. Luckily, I mean, I don't know how the fuck I'm not busted. There must be other people growing in houses on that block. You know,
I'm amazed by it too. I'll be honest with you.
Because I don't know how this. When you get 2 days without fucking fans,
that smell gotta be kicking, man.
Yeah, but it was the whole block. So if there's 1 or 2 houses, because someone had said they smelled shit down a couple houses. So if there's a house down the block, like 2 houses down, that's got the same problem, no power, no fan. Yeah. And it could blow up the neighborhood too, or maybe the people already are blowing up the neighborhood and I just can't tell. I don't fucking know. I don't get it. Or maybe, hopefully, the diesel smell from the fucking, or the gas smell from the generator that Hungry Howie's was using. Maybe that covered it up.
Oh, they had a generator going?
Yeah, they had a generator.
Oh, that's right, because power was down, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, losing power sucks there. Good thing we're done. It's going to be done at the end of the year. I so want that stress off my life. That's fucking $4,000 every month, just off the top.
That's a lot of money.
For something that constantly gives me headaches and fucks me.
Yeah.
Like that heat wave I had to deal with.
Yeah.
And this now power outage is going to cost me $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in the next couple months.
Damn.
Like I can't guarantee that everything's going to, like I can't guarantee any of these plants are going to be good.
Going to be good, no.
Especially the seedlings.
Yeah, because of stress.
Yeah. They could all be just stressed versions of themselves because they had 2 days without light. Maybe not. Because it's not the first time it's happened, but at the same time, I've never had this many seedlings. It's like, who the fuck knows? Maybe it'll make something great.
Well, you'll find out.
I'll find out.
That's for damn sure.
I'm going to find out. I don't have a choice.
Your choice was taken away.
I mean, that's what it is.